Hello, everyone. Welcome to another So What with Sulky. I'm Ellen March, and I'm so excited to be here with you today because we are going to be talking about our upcoming videocast. It is Videocast day, so we are all scrambling around making sure that you will have the best experience this afternoon. We will be bringing you the Boho Bonnie Bag Videocast live at 2 p.m. Eastern Time on the Sulky Education site. That is sewingonline.sulky.com. In the description of the post today, you might have to click see more so that you can see everything that I've listed in the description for today's live post. You will find a registration link for the videocast. So, what is a videocast, you ask? A videocast is like an online live streaming class with Sulky instructors teaching you new techniques with a project that goes with it. So, today we are bringing you this fantastic bag. Now, it's important to note that during the videocast, you will be learning lots of techniques. You will be learning machine embroidery techniques, hand embroidery techniques, bag making techniques. I'm going to share lots of tips for how to take your bags to the next level. And by that, I mean adding some expensive looking hardware, adding some designer touches like purse feet, working with zippers. This has a really very strong magnetic closure. And then you can see a zippered pocket inside, as well as a slip pocket that's big enough to hold a tablet. The entire bag is lined with fleece interlining, and it has this fantastic cork fabric for the handles and the base, and you can add a little accent to your front zipper, not to mention the beautiful embroidery. Now, I have been talking about this bag for a few weeks now on So What, but today is finally the day that we're going live. And lots of you are coming in with your comments, telling me where you're from. I love that so much. Know that if you are commenting and liking and sharing the post, I have a fantastic giveaway as usual today. I'm going to be giving away a copy of the Bonnie bag pattern. Now, this is the pattern, obviously, that we will be working through in the videocast today. And it is an exclusive pattern that we developed with Sally Tomato. Sally Tomato is a pattern company. They also do lots of kits. They carry cork fabric and faux leathers and zippers and all the great hardware that we are going to be using today. And the way that Sally Tomato writes their patterns is just very smart, very intuitive. Any skill level can make these patterns. Of course, there are more complicated patterns, and I will say this bag, although it looks very simple to make, it has a lot of components. Now, it actually is very simple to make. You just have to work your way through the instructions. But as I showed you on that finished project, there are a lot of parts to this pattern. So I'm going to do my best to take you through the entire bag, in the 90 minutes that we have this afternoon. So just know also, if you cannot join us at 2 o'clock this afternoon, register anyway, because the entire thing is recorded so that you can watch it at your leisure at any time after the live event ends. You can pause, rewind, fast forward to a part that you missed, all of those good things. And on our new Sulky Education site, everything associated with this webcast goes into your library, your own personal library on the site. You will log in with your email and password that you used to create your account and sign up for the event. And you will see all of the items, the videocasts, the webcasts, Any of our education that we present on that platform will be stored in your library. So if you don't want to download the designs right away, or you want to have a repository for those designs, if you lose them on your own hard drive or can't remember where you saved them, you can always find them in your library on the education site. That is where you will view the webcast in real time. That is where you will ask questions about the webcast or videocast. That is where you can buy the kit, any special products that are associated with that videocast, where you can watch it on demand. So it's very important that you write down your username, which is your email, and password that you used when you signed up for the videocast, or when you purchased it, depending on whether it's free or not. At any rate, this videocast is only $5.99 to attend this afternoon. So for your $5.99, what do you get? You get 90 minutes of instruction, including all these great techniques that I spoke about, which you can apply to a lot of your sewing projects. If you like to make bags or have never made bags, this is great information that you can apply to future projects. Plus, for your $5.99, you will be getting the machine embroidery design files that are featured on the bag, as well as the printables for the hand embroidery. If you don't have an embroidery machine, you can do hand embroidery on your bag. We have 2 different kits available so that you can choose. And all of the design files you get for free for purchasing the videocast. So if you're interested in these beautiful floral designs, I have one right here printed out as a template, you can get them for only $5.99 just by joining the videocast, and you will get them immediately. You can go right to your library and download them, print them out, and start using them today. So a lot of people are coming in with some questions. Crystal is asking, when will the kits be sent? The site says that it has not been shipped yet. All right, so this brings up a very good point, and I'm so glad you asked so that I didn't forget to address it. I am prepared to talk about this all afternoon. So our kits are very carefully curated. We worked with Sally Tomato to create this kit. And in the beginning, we were offering 2 different colors of cork fabric. The green one behind me, as well as this coneflower purple. Now, the kits sold out before we could even run the event. So we worked very, very hard with Sally Tomato to come up with a fantastic option for all of you who have not purchased your kit yet. We are offering a 3rd color. It is Eggplant Cork. Let me show that to you right now. This is the beautiful eggplant. It looks very dark on my screen. It is a very deep, rich purple. It goes very, very well. Here it is on the bag. It goes very well with the threads that come in your kit for your embroidery options. So it's difficult to see the digital rendering or the photo on the screen, but it goes really, really well with the purple colored. So the lighter purple goes with this color and the darker one goes with this color. We made very, we were very cognizant of the thread colors in the embroidery when we chose this other color. Now, you might be asking, well, why did you have to choose another color? Well, with everything that's going on right now, COVID, it's basically due to COVID, but there are supplier issues all over the place, and it's very difficult to get product in and cut all these kits and have everything available to you. And once we saw that those green and coneflower kits were selling so fast, which, you know, every time we buy more and more kits and we still have this problem. But at any rate, they were not able to fulfill more of those colors. So we had to go with a darker purple. You will love it just as much, if not more. So these are available today. the Eggplant Cork color kits. I think that it's very neutral. This canvas color goes with just about any cork or even faux leather that you would want to use. So I think you'll be really, really happy with this color choice. It's very difficult to curate these kits and to anticipate how much you all are going to absolutely love them. So I hope that you are as happy with our current offering as I am, because now I want an eggplant as well. I have the other two and I want the third one. So, but speaking about timing of the kits, which is what Crystal was asking, so due to those supplier issues and the fact that we had to get another kit on board in a very short amount of time, the kits that are being purchased today and the kits that were purchased prior to today for that third color, that eggplant, those will be shipping mid-April. Don't worry though, because you don't need your kit in hand to watch the videocast. Like I said, you will be able to watch it again and again. Watch with us today, participate, grab a cup of coffee or a snack, enjoy yourself, chat with your fellow sewist from around the world on our live chat. It's going to be a great time. And you can just kind of absorb all the information, get all the techniques, and understand the embroidery and all of that good stuff. Ask your questions. And when your kit arrives, you can pull up the video from your library and, like I said, watch it on demand, pause, rewind, fast forward, all of those good things while you're working through your bag. So you can have a sew along. You can even involve your friends that also watch the videocast and have your own little sew along. So there are benefits to all of it, and I hope you all tune in. The great thing is you will get your embroidery designs as soon as you register. They are available to you. And I wanted to show you another way of getting these beautiful designs onto your projects. Now, we did work with a designer to create these beautiful floral designs so that they fit the bag perfectly. So as you can see, if you decide to do the large floral design, it's called Boho Floral Large. If you decide to do this one on the front and back, and we're going to go over how to perfectly place these so that they meet in the side seam, just like that, so professional looking. We will be learning that today. If you choose to do this large one, where was I going with it? I lost my train of thought. If you decide to do the large one, it's going to look great. Oh, the design is sized perfectly for that portion of the pattern piece. That's where I was going. If you decide to do the small one, this one is sized perfectly for the front pocket. And you can do the exterior pocket on the front, the exterior pocket on the back, or you can just choose one pocket and call that the bag front, put a little decorative cork tassel on your zipper pull, and call it a day. You can do all 6 embroideries if you want. It is your choice. But that's where I was going with it. The designs have been sized for this particular bag. However, obviously you can put those designs on so many different things. So I'm going to show you how to transfer this design onto your fabric without having to do any embroidery at all. So if you want to grab up this design, remember, all you have to do is register for the Videocast, and you will get the designs immediately in your library. So you can work on this today on a different project if you want. All right, so I was hoping that my overhead camera was going to work for us today, and it's not yet. So I have some work to do before the Videocast to make sure that that follows me, but I'm just going to raise up what I'm working on and show you. So if you have questions as I'm going along, let me know, and I will change my camera point of view so that you can see what I'm talking about. So what I have done is printed out the Boho floral spray, the small design, just onto a sheet of regular printer paper. I've printed it in color. You can also print it in black and white. We give you both options, and then we also give you a color chart that corresponds with the threads that we used in the finished samples. These are the threads that go with the cork and match, the design colors perfectly. So the other tools that I have at my disposal here is a protective surface. I'm using a big pad of paper to place my design on. And I have these beauties. You know what these are? Has anyone worked with these? Give me a thumbs up if you have. These are the Sulky iron-on transfer pens. And I have a big sample pack that includes all these great colors. I've got my purple, green, blue, orange, black. I have the yellow in my hand. These colors happen to go with this design so perfectly. So if you don't have an embroidery machine, or you don't want to spend the time to do the hand embroidery, because these are a lot of stitches, you can still add these beautiful motifs to your plain fabric using the Sulky iron-on transfer pens. You can also use the iron-on transfer pens to transfer the design onto your bag and then do your hand embroidery over it or around it. If you only want to do back stitches or running stitches along the design outlines, the rest of the design could be colored in with the iron-on transfer pens. So I am going to show you how to use them. First, you just kind of want to get the pen going a little bit. So in order to do that, take it to your protective surface or a sheet of cardboard or paper, and you kind of press down until the ink starts flowing around the tip of the pen. So I only had to press down twice, and I now have a little dot of color, can you see that, on my protective surface. Now I know that the color is saturating the tip of the pen and I can begin to use it. It's as simple as coloring in the design. Now it's important to note, we will be heat transferring these colors onto our fabric using an iron. So if you are working with a directional print, or you have added a name, let's say, to your design or a monogram, you will want to turn your paper over and color in your motif and your name or what have you on the opposite side so that it is backwards. That way, when you go to heat transfer it, everything looks proper and the name is spelled in the correct orientation. So keep that in mind. You could put this on a light box, or if you have Adobe Acrobat or something like that, you can mirror image your design and print it out so that it is already flipped for you. Okay, so make sure to keep that in mind. So once you have your pen going, you can have fun coloring in your little design. You can see where I've colored in that little yellow circle there, and just keep on going. This can be a very meditative, fun activity in and of itself. Now, when you are generating more ink on the pen, you want to make sure that you're only pressing down either on your protective surface or your little scrap paper or cardboard. Don't press down on your actual printed piece, because then you will get a bubble of ink that could spread beyond your design lines. Okay? So you simply just keep coloring around and around you go. Now, once you get this all colored in, maybe you want to leave some of the areas blank. That's totally up to you. Maybe you want to do just outlines of color so that you can follow it with needle and thread. This would be a really great sort of hack for free motion work as well. If you want to do free motion embroidery on your boho bag, you could transfer the design using these pens and then follow the colors and follow all of the design by lowering your feed dogs and doing free motion. So these embroidery templates are really great because you can use them in all kinds of different ways. Now, I do want to show you, while I was working and moving my hands and not paying attention to what I was doing, I got a little bit of ink over here. I got some ink splotches outside of my design. So I want to be sure to cut that off before I transfer it to my fabric, or that is going to transfer to my fabric as well. And I will have this little errant dot of yellow on my finished project. So now I have all my little yellow portions of the design that I want in the center of those flowers, and I can simply move on to my lovely purple. So, if I could get the cap off. This one's a toughie. Okay, I'm gonna move to orange or red, let's say, because I cannot get that purple lid off. All right, so get your ink going. It only takes 1 or 2 sort of punches with the pen, and then keep going on the red or brick, we call it, areas of your design. I mean, how fun is this, right? You could even involve the kids, get them to transfer this design onto a cool t-shirt. That would be really fun. And it kind of gets them into crafting and sewing without introducing the needle and thread yet. Maybe they're too young for that, or, you know, maybe you want to pique their interest with a little coloring craft prior to moving to the real thing. So you can see that I've got some of those brick red dots going. And like I said, just move through the design. And then what you're going to do when you're all finished, you want to make sure that your fabric that you're putting this on is nice and ironed. If there's a little bit of heat left on there, even better. Nice and ironed and flat. You'll put your paper face down on your fabric. You could put a press cloth over the top of that if you wish, and iron it gently on a medium to medium low heat. Now, before you peel your paper away, give it a little peek and make sure that everything has transferred nicely. Now, the other thing about a boho style design is that maybe you don't want to fill in these areas all the way. You want a little bit of sketchy quality to it. You just simply do that by not filling in those areas all the way, and you could have a really cool look to it. All right. So Karen is saying, wow, you have started. I went through Sulky Library and you hadn't started yet. So this is a good point, Karen. Right now, what you're watching is our Facebook Live event. This is not our Videocast. They are 2 different things, and I know that it is confusing for a lot of folks. So let me just try to explain it. What we do on Facebook Live every week is we have a chat, and I get to show you cool products that I have discovered or new things we are launching at sulky.com. I also get to kind of showcase what we've been working on for the past week, or even what's coming up in the next month. Fun projects, free downloads, cool embroidery designs that you can download for free, things like that. And I like to give you a little technique every week, at least one, so that we are all learning something new and learning from each other as we move forward on So What? So this is not to be confused with our Videocast offerings at sewingonline.sulky.com. What you will see there at 2 o'clock is a different experience from what you're having right now with me. So I will still be talking to you, and I will be your instructor this afternoon. Sometimes we have guest instructors join us, most of the time actually. And today I will be representing the American Sewing Guild as well as Sulky with our Boho Bonnie bag. So this afternoon, what is different about that experience from our Facebook Live is that I will have multiple cameras going. My overhead camera will work. I promise you that. I will have a camera on my sewing machine. I will have a camera on my tabletop so that you can see what I'm working on. And I also have a slide deck so that you have something to reference while I am talking to you as well. If I get off topic, which, is entirely possible, it helps keep me on track as well as give you a reference for what I am speaking to. If you don't understand what I am showing you, hopefully that PowerPoint deck will supplement. So that is the main difference between a Facebook Live and a videocast. Now, sometimes we do a webcast instead of a videocast. What is the difference between those? And could we confuse you any farther? The difference between a webcast and a videocast is that video component. So the reason that we charge for our videocast is because we have a greater production value going on with it, and we're trying to bring you real-time sewing and needle cameras and all kinds of interactivity going on during those education opportunities. They're also 90 minutes long. If you join a free webcast, and you can sign up for any free webcast we've done in the past or our legacy webinars that we used to do on a different platform, they are all available to you at sewingonline.sulky.com. So if you want to experience a free webcast, sign up. You get all the freebies, you get the video instruction, you'll get everything added to your library, and you can watch it at your leisure. If you join a free webcast, it is a PowerPoint slide deck, and your instructor is speaking to you kind of like a Zoom call. So it's more like this Facebook Live, but it's very concentrated on a project, techniques, and we always do a kit offering so that you can purchase a kit to go along with the instruction. So I hope that kind of clarifies things a little bit. I know it's confusing, and we have a lot of offerings at sulky.com as well as sewdaily.com. We also have courses and more longer format things for you to do there and learning opportunities. And then we have our Sewing Online education site. Now, the reason we do this is not to confuse you. It is really to offer you different options for how you want to learn. So if you're more of a visual person and you need that video instruction and you want to be able to chat with people you don't even know and get hints and tips from other people who love to sew and quilt and craft, then a videocast is right for you. If you really need to see things on paper and you still want to be in that teaching environment with an instructor, then one of our webcasts is right for you. If you want to be able to print out your instructions, work on your own, in the comforts of your own home, in peace and quiet, or with music blaring, however you like to make your projects, then head on over to our blog, because we have tons of free projects, technique articles, all kinds of things there that you can print out, you can browse, and kind of choose your own adventure. That might be the learning style that you prefer. If you want to take a longer format course that really dives deep, I'm talking, 2 hours, 3-hour course from an industry expert, then you'll want to head on over to our certification courses or our education opportunities at sewdaily.com. So I know it can be really confusing when there's all these different places to go to get this great content that you want, but we want to make sure that we're serving all of the customers in the way that they want to learn. So I hope that that makes more sense, and, if not, put your comments down and we'll go over it again. Okay. Lots of people loving the design. Looking forward to the video cast. There is still time to register. So again, we will go live with the video cast at 2 p.m. Eastern time. So what you will do is head over either through your library or through the direct link in your emails, because once you sign up, you'll get a confirmation email. Head on over to the event page. There is a button that says click here to enter the viewing room. The viewing room is a page that we have set up so that you can view the video cast on a little bit larger screen. So you might be viewing right now on Facebook and you're getting this little tiny screen. And if I was to show you something on my tabletop or on my sewing machine camera, it might go so small that you might struggle with it. So we created a viewing room where you can view the video cast and participate in the live chat, and that's all you need to do there. You can also pop up another window. We have that a new functionality on that page now. You can pop up another window and you can shop the sales while we are talking to you and while we're doing the instruction. So that just means you'll have two windows open on your computer, one for shopping, one for viewing and chatting. So you will enter the viewing room and then you need to press play. There's a little arrow on the screen, and if you don't press that arrow, the video cast will not start playing for you. And you will wonder why everyone is chatting in the live chat and you're not seeing anything. So make sure to click that play arrow when we begin at 2 p.m. You can click it a little early if you want and sit and wait for it to start. So, yeah, I hope that explains it a little bit. All right, Dawn has purchased an original kit and would like to add the current one being offered. You go, Dawn. I love it. Can we do that this afternoon? All right, so you will need to contact our customer service team and see if they can add to your previous order. It's a possibility, but you may have to make another order. But the price of this kit will get you free shipping because we have free shipping on $60 or more. So contact customer service. You can also email info@sulky.com and get information about that. Okay, Esther is saying, so to clarify, the kits ordered in February will not ship until mid-April. So Esther, if you ordered the coneflower, which is this light purple behind me, or the magnolia, which is the green, that will ship prior to April. If you have chosen the eggplant kit, because of availability and the time it takes to assemble those kits and get everything from the manufacturers, because as you know, we are a thread and stabilizer company. We are not a cork fabric company. So we have to rely on other suppliers to make sure that we're getting the quality product that you have come to expect from Sulky, as well as the quantity that we need to fill those kits. So if you are ordering the eggplant, it's going to come later. And whether you ordered eggplant in February, I can't even remember if it was available in February because March is getting away from me already. Those eggplant kits are going to ship later. All right. Okay. Crystal, great point, Crystal. She says, from past experience, I have found that just watching the first time without sewing sets you up for better sewing later. I couldn't agree more. And while you're watching the video cast, you can just sit back and relax and have fun and watch and chat and maybe ask some questions, maybe take some notes here and there. Maybe there's a portion of the bag that I go through and you're like, oh, I'm going to need to watch that later. You can even mark down the time, the little time code on your screen. Like, you know, Ellen's going to talk about the magnetic snap at about minute 38. I'm making all this up, of course. You can mark that down, and then when you go back, you know where to go and where to advance the video when you have your kit in hand. So there are bonuses to that as well. Okay, Dawn is confused on the start time for the Videocast. What is the exact time for it on the West Coast? Okay, so it's 2 p.m. Eastern Time. I believe West Coast is 3 hours before, right? So it'll be 11 a.m. Pacific Time. Please give me a thumbs up if I got that right, because I am Mountain Time. The folks at Sulky headquarters are Eastern Time. I'm on Zoom calls and things like that with people Pacific Time. And then I have to remember, is it daylight savings time or what? So this whole time zone thing really challenges me at times. But we also have, if you register and you go to the confirmation page that is sent to you, there's a little link to add it to your calendar. And it's going to add to your calendar at the correct time that your computer is set at. So hopefully that clears some things up. Okay. The iron-on transfer pens are great. I let my youngest granddaughter use them for her designs. It's such a fun product, and you know, I haven't really seen these anywhere else. They're very unique and really fun. I mean, you can have your kids add their names to their backpacks, to a tote bag, even, you know, a message or something like that on the back of a jean jacket would be really cute. So it's a nice little gateway, you know, into the crafting world, because you don't have to start off with needle and thread, but they may naturally want to go there because, of course, your needle and thread gives you lots of texture and additional color opportunities than you have with the transfer pens. But I suggest just going and grabbing, you know, the large pack that has all the colors in it. Oh, also a great thing to mention is you can make multiple transfers with one colored page. Now, they are going to vary in saturation, obviously, because, you know, when you iron it, the pigment is going into the fabric. So just know that each new sort of heat transfer is going to be lighter than the last. So as long as you understand that, you're good to go. Okay. Amy says, are the pens permanent? The pens are permanent. And there's all kinds of different things you could use this for, like, you know, in addition to the things I just mentioned, I'm just noticing on the packaging, labels for quilts. What a great idea. You could write a little note and then again, use that as your template for free motion work if you want to do a sewn quilt label. Punch needle, fabric painting, embroidery, applique, scrapbooking, woodworking, clothing labels. That's another great thing. If you want to say, hey, I made these pajama pants for my kids. This happens to me all the time. And here's a tag that says, this is the back. Or you could put the waist measurement on the tag. So when your kids grow and, you know, like weeds like mine do, you'll know, oh, this is no longer going to fit. This waist measurement is a, you know, 20. So that would be another great reason to use those. Okay. Can the pens be used directly on the fabric? That's a great question, Amy, and I will get the answer to that. I believe you would want to use paper to transfer it because of the margin of error. So you can even see on my example, I got outside the lines right here on that little dot of yellow. I was talking and I pressed on the pen and the ink saturated that area. And what do, right? Well, since it's on paper, I can go in and cut out that little flower, and I can tape a new one to the back, and I can add that color again more accurately. Also, you saw that I had the little flyaway yellow ink outside of the design, and I would want to cut that away. So for accuracy's sake, and perhaps saturation issues, I would use it as intended and put it first on paper prior to putting it onto my fabric. That's a great question. Thank you. Okay, Annette is asking, do the markers bleed through? Well, it all depends on how heavy of a hand you have on applying the color to your paper. So you can see the only one that bled through on mine was the one I made the mistake on. You can see I oversaturated this one and it kind of bled through the paper. Now you can also use a little heavier weight paper. The paper that I was using for my protective surface is like a cardstock sketch pad, and you could also use that instead if you think you're going to worry about that. But I would always protect your surface in case you do get any ink that wants to destroy your nice tabletop. All right. Can't wait to see the video on the boho bag. Me too. And I've really got to make sure that my cameras are working. So send me your questions. We will address those. I have some other photos I can show you as well. Karen's asking, where do we go to find the Videocast today? So when you signed up, you received a confirmation email. You can go to that email, and there are links to join the Videocast. It will take you to the event page where all of your freebies, links to the kit, information about the instructor, all of that stuff lives. There will be a link that says click to view or click to go to the viewing room. You want to be in the viewing room, and you want to be sure that you have clicked the play button on the video screen. There will be a little arrow. You want to be sure to click that at the start time or a little before. Okay. This will be my first handbag I'm making for my daughter's birthday. Oh, but your kit won't come until mid-April. Well, hopefully your daughter's birthday is after that so that she can enjoy it. And like I said, you can use these embroidery designs and practice and stitch them out and get a feel for them, and practice all the techniques that I will be sharing with you today so that you're ready when it comes. Okay. Yes, Diana says, don't forget to reverse any writing. Exactly. Like I said before, if you have a directional design, this one is not directional. You could put it any which way. I'll be showing that today. So it doesn't really matter to reverse this design. But if you wanted to, you could use the mirror image function either on your printer software or in a document viewing software like Adobe Acrobat, and mirror image it for printing if you wanted to use the transfer pens. And yes, very important, if you're adding a name or another directional print of some sort, you will want to reverse it. So if you don't have those capabilities to print the reverse image on your printer, you can turn the design over. You can see, I can see it a little bit. And I can use a light box and transfer my design that way. So there are different options based on your computer capabilities as well. Leslie's asking, does the large design fit in a 5x7 hoop? It does not. This large design fits, the lowest you can go, I believe, is like a 6x10 hoop. I'll be talking about it this afternoon. And there are certain machines that don't even support a hoop that's that large. So for those specific file formats, I believe there are two, the design is already split for you to do it in multiple hoopings. And during the videocast, I will be sharing with you some placement options if you have to split the design into multiple hoopings using software or using those particular design files for those particular machines. There are some placement pointers and some other tools you can use in order to do that and still have your design line up perfectly. So you'll be learning that today as well. Now, the smaller design that was designed for the pocket, that one fits in a 5x7 hoop. You can certainly size it down, reduce the size for a 4x4 hoop, and if you do that, it will then also fit above the pocket area. So you could really customize your bag based on the products that you have at hand and based on your particular desire for your bag. So there are lots of options we will be going over this afternoon. Let me just make sure that I have talked about our videocast. There's our beautiful bag in the sunlight. I wish we were having sunlight today, not quite yet. And then this is the pattern. I will be giving away this pattern to someone who is watching today's Facebook Live, commenting, liking, sharing, all of those good things. I will send the pattern out to one lucky random winner. So this is what we'll be going over today, exclusive, only found at Sulky with purchase of the kit. And here is that beautiful boho floral large design being stitched out. Another thing I wanted to talk about today is we are using 30 weight cotton thread for these embroideries. Did you know you could use cotton thread for machine embroidery? I digitized these designs with 30 weight in mind. So if you choose to use a 40 weight thread, like a rayon or polydeco, your design is going to have a different look, and you may have some gaps between thread passes in your design, particularly in the fill stitch areas, because 40 weight thread is thinner than 30 weight thread. So you actually need more passes of thread to fill that design area. Does that make sense? So I designed this for 30 weight thread because that cotton thread gives it that kind of boho look. And it almost looks like it was done by hand, but we are doing it by machine. So another reason to do it this way is when we do the hand embroidery version, we were able to offer you the exact same colors because the 12 weight thread that we use for handwork is also cotton thread. And we're going to try to make them look similar. All right, so no matter your skill level, no matter your equipment, you will be able to make this bag and make it as beautiful as you see here. So that's the machine embroidery in progress. And then here is the hand embroidery in progress. So it's important to note, if you got a hand embroidery kit, you will get that stick and stitch stabilizer, and that is what we are going to use to transfer our design. So if you would rather transfer your design using the iron-on transfer pens, then grab those up in addition to your kit as well, and you'll have options there. Or you could do it in addition to. Did I just say that? Anyway, you will get the stick and stitch stabilizer so you can print your designs directly on the stabilizer. I will go over how to do that momentarily during the video cast. And then we will stitch through all layers to create that beautiful hand embroidery. You can see how shiny and nice that 12 weight thread looks for handwork. You will need a hand embroidery needle, and we have those at sulky.com as well. So if you don't have a lot of hand needles on hand, uh, you'll want to grab up some handwork needles. All right. So I showed you the, oh, there we are again, the eggplant version that we are now offering. So pretty. Love it. And I also wanted to show you how cool the bag looks in faux leather. So we will be using the cork fabric, obviously, and cork fabric is so fun. It is so cool. It's so interesting. People are like, what is that made out of? It's a conversation starter. It comes in beautiful, beautiful colors, easy to work with, supple. It feels like butter while you're sewing it. It's not as difficult as you may think to add it to your bag, but I just wanted to show you a faux leather version because once you make this bag, you're going to want to make it multiple different ways and lots of different times. You can see how this is that same canvas color that we used with the cork fabric, and it works really great with this sort of brown faux leather as well. So that's just another option. And the techniques I will be sharing with you in the video cast about how to sew with cork fabric, your machine settings, the presser foot, your needle choice, thread, all of that good stuff will apply to faux leather as well. All right, what else do I have to share? Ooh, a great point that I realized last night when I was going through my slide deck again is one of the things to remember when you are prepping your pattern is to label each piece. Now, this pattern has a lot of pieces. We've got all those pockets, all the lining, we've got all the fleece interlining rectangles and all of our interfacing and all of that good stuff that makes this bag truly great. In order to keep everything straight, it is a great idea to label the wrong side of your fabrics when you cut them out. That way you can have a stack next to you, and while you're working through the pattern and it says piece C or exterior piece A, you can just flip right through, find A, bring it out, and know that that's the one that you're supposed to be working with at that time. And if you purchased a kit, you will receive this little giftie from Sulky. It is a great chalk pencil with a little eraser on one end, and it works really great for marking all of your pattern pieces, as well as marking notches or dots or zipper placements and things like that. So that was a little giftie that was included in your kit. All right. Oh, I mentioned interfacing. Another good thing to note is this is the lining fabric you will get in your kit. It's a neutral, it's a little floral print. It really goes with the rest of the bag. But the right side kind of looks like the wrong side. So you actually can't really see it very well in this photo. But when I first fused my interfacing, and this goes behind our zipper placement for the interior of the bag, I actually fused it to the right side of the fabric. What? That is another good reason to mark your pattern piece on the wrong side. That way, if you get confused and you're like, wait a second, what's the right side, wrong side? You can refer to your little pattern piece marking and be like, okay, that's the wrong side. Let me flip that over and fuse my interfacing. So I kind of had to do that one over. Whoops. Good thing I made two bags because I got really good at it. Another thing to note is prepping these pieces that you add embroidery to. So for my exterior pocket, I made sure to serge finish the edges of that pocket while I was doing the embroidery work, because this canvas fabric has a tendency to kind of fray along the edges. And the more and more you handle it, you know, if you take your handwork to your couch while you're watching The Crown, you want to make sure that all of that handling doesn't cause your fabric to fray. So if you don't have a serger, you can simply zigzag finish the edges, and that is going to give you your safeguard that you need for handling those pieces. And there you can see my handles prior to putting them on my exterior portions of the bag. I'm bringing this photo up for you to show you that with your kit, you also get a spool of Sulky Poly Deco thread. It is this color. It's a smaller spool. Here we go. It's this color. So it goes with the outer canvas as well as the cotton inside of your bag. Now, if you want your top stitching on your straps to match your straps, then grab up a different color of Poly Deco from Sulky.com to go with your kit, okay? I did mine 2 different ways since I made 2 different bags. I actually love both of them. So for my green handles, I chose a lime green Poly Deco, and you could barely see the stitching on my handles. For my coneflower purple version, I used the thread that came with my kit that I used for construction. And I actually really like the fact that that thread pops off and it's another design element to my bag. So I just wanted to be sure to mention that. If I forget to mention that during the video cast, that is why we put all Sulky Poly Deco on sale today, so that if you want to grab some extra spools, either just to supplement your stash or to match your handles, you will be able to do so for a great price. Also, all 30 weight cotton thread is 30% off today, and our 12 weight cotton petites are 20% off. So you can really get a great deal today. Whether you are joining our videocast or not, I am giving you access to all the steals and deals associated with today's event. So you can head on over to Sulky.com, take advantage of all of those deals and specials. Also, the stabilizer we use for the bag is Sulky Stiffy. That is 30% off. You can get it by the bolt for a fantastic price. Also, our Sulky Stick and Stitch, those sheets that you want to print your design out onto for handwork or free motion work or even quilting, those are also on sale. So we are breaking all the rules today and offering you everything that I've talked about at a great, great deal. So, yay. Oh, and here is that stick and stitch in action. So if you've never worked with Sulky Stick and Stitch, after you complete your handwork, you simply rinse it away under running water. Then you let it dry, and then you move on with your bag construction. It is a really great transfer method that does not require you to make any marks on your fabric, unless, of course, you want to. So the choice is yours, and I hope that you understand the value of this video cast and know that we are really trying to give you every opportunity possible to customize this bag to your liking. So with that, I will let you all go. I know there are a lot of unanswered questions in the chat, but I have really got to go to make sure that my cameras are working because we will be going live on the Sulky Education platform in 1 hour. So I have 1 hour to make sure everything is working as intended. And I will see you all at 2 p.m. And bring your questions. If I didn't answer them in the Facebook Live, you can put them in the live chat for the event. And we will try to keep up with that as best we can. And we will also have some people manning this chat so that we can get you your answers. But if you do not hear from us, please reach out at info@sulky.com. We are here for you. We want to get your questions answered, and we want to see you at 2 p.m. All right, so thank you so much. Join me next week for another So What, and join me in 1 hour for the Boho Bonnie Bag video cast. I'll see you next time.